What's up and welcome to the reading list. Now when I've got my glasses on, I mean business. No, I'm just kidding. I actually put the glasses on because I thought it would maybe make me look a little bit more serious. But they're off. I don't actually need them for reading. Anyway, welcome to the reading list. These 6 books, I'm going to tell you how they can change your life. So we have The Chimp Paradox, I Used to Be a Miserable Fuck, Essentialism, Awaken the Giant Within, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and Man's Search for Meaning. Now these are in no particular order, they're actually in size order, like biggest down to smallest. Anyway, I'm going to tell you how these 6 books can literally have a huge and everlasting impact on your life. They have on mine. I'm going to tell you the reasons why I read them. First up, I'm going to tell you how I read. Time of day, location, and the different methods I use for reading, highlighting, taking notes, and then actually taking from what's in the books into my own life and action and things. I'm then going to talk you through each book. I'm going to tell you why I bought it. I'm going to tell you my favourite quote from the book. I'm going to give you a brief overview and the bits to look out for, and I'm going to tell you the good bits. I was going to tell you the bad bits and the biggest lessons learned, but I don't want to be negative about someone's book because they've obviously put a lot of time into it. And the lessons learned, I'll probably talk about them in the overview, or they might actually be my favourite bit, which you might find as the quote. And ultimately, I don't want to give it all away because you need to read these books, enjoy them, experience them for yourself. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so first of all, I want to be honest with you. Reading isn't for everyone. Some people prefer audiobooks, some people just don't like reading. So whatever you do, don't force yourself to read. But if you do like reading, then keep reading. But maybe you actually want to get into reading, maybe you want to start it. My one recommendation would be, if a book is shit, stop reading it. I've done that with loads of books. Number 2, always start with 1 or 2 pages, or even set yourself a 5-minute timer, okay? And now that 5 minutes will force you to start reading. If the timer goes off and you don't want to read anymore, you put the book away. If the timer goes off and you do want to keep reading, you keep going. Or you can do the 1 or 2 page method where you just start reading 1 or 2 pages and you see where it takes you, rather than think, oh, I need to read this full book or this full chapter. So the reason I like reading is because 1, these books inspire me. I get very inspired after reading books. 2, I like to take a lot of lessons and steps from books. These are all kind of psychology based books, productivity, self-improvement books. I like to take lessons from them and try and put them into my own life. And the one interesting thing I would say is, some of the books that I've been reading recently, it's funny because they almost cross over each other. A lot of the time the authors are writing the same thing, but in their own style, in their own way of writing. My first bit of advice would be, find a time of the day that you can read. So for me, it is first thing in the morning. The main reason is because I feel like it does inspire me. If I open the book first thing in the morning, get a couple of pages in, get a chapter or 2 in, usually only for 30 minutes, whilst I drink my morning coffee, I just end up coming away quite inspired, and it sets me up nicely for the day. The first thing that's entering my mind in the morning is positive things from the books, then that's only a good thing. So try and find a time of day that suits you. Some people like reading late at night before they go to bed. I don't always do this, I prefer just go straight to sleep, but if I'm struggling to fall asleep, I will whip the book out and read a couple of pages, because it does generally put me to sleep. Not because I'm bored of the book, but it just has that effect. So step 1, time of day. Find a time of day that suits you. Number 2, find a location. Find a nice location, somewhere that you can go, be comfortable, warm, silence, peace and quiet, and read your book. That's also important. I have a couple of spots I like to use, but again, it's always first thing in the morning. Somewhere warm, somewhere comfortable, where I can just get stuck into the book. So I also want to talk to you about kind of methods that I use to take the good bits from the books and then extract them out. So one of them is the highlight method / page fold method. So if I don't have a highlighter or a pen on me, I will just page fold the bits that I think are really, really good. If I do have a pen or highlighter, I will sometimes highlight the text, or I'll just put a little marker down. And from there I won't do anything else, but sometimes once I finish reading the chapter or I finish reading the book, I will go back into it. And if I've not highlighted the actual text, I reread the page, and if I'm still really getting a lot from it, if I'm still really resonating or thinking something's really valuable, I'll then locate it and I'll extract it from there into a Word document. Essentially, I will just reread, consolidate the bit that I thought was really good. Why was it good? Ask myself this question, and then I'll take it out and I'll put it in a Word document, and that just allows me to go back and refer to it any time that I see fit. I'm not entirely sure why I'm doing that, but I feel like it just consolidates, you know, the message from the book that the author's trying to get across. And from there, okay, maybe I've taken hundreds of notes, hundreds of little quotes, little bits of text out, but if 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 things stick with me, it's been a valuable experience, it's been a good lesson learned, and then I try to action it in my own life. These 6 books in particular that I'm going to talk to you about have a lot of actionable steps, resonated with me massively. So you could go ahead and buy all these books, or you could wait until you've heard what I've got to say about them and then decide whether or not they're for you. But essentially, if you want to improve your happiness, if you want to improve your productivity, if you have goals that you want to reach, if you want to be more confident, if you want to understand how the brain, how the mind works, if you want to deal with social situations better, how to communicate better, these books kind of cover all those things. So tune in to the series, the reading list series, and hopefully you can take some value. Number 1 in the series. I used to be a miserable fuck. Let's do it.